Yay! What's up, Dallas Cowboy Nation? It's your boy G from Jersey with the Quest for Six podcast. The 2026 NFL Combine is underway in Indianapolis, Indiana, folks. And man, tons of news coming out from the NFL Combine, all right? We had a trade this morning. The Jets trading edge rusher Jermaine Johnson to the Tennessee Titans in return for defensive tackle Tavondre Sweat, okay? The Indianapolis Colts just announced that they have given quarterback Anthony Richardson the okay to seek a trade. So there's a quarterback available that wasn't available yesterday now. All right. Also yesterday, the Bears granting linebacker Tremaine Edmonds the okay to seek a trade. Uh, Big time linebacker getting ready to hit the market here soon. All right. There's also word out of Jacksonville Jaguars camp that they are fielding calls, all right, for wide receiver Brian Thomas. That has been known. Uh, in other news, the Philadelphia Eagles potentially shopping wide receiver AJ Brown, but we have spoke about that during the year, so that is not a surprise. Okay, in Cowboys news, in Cowboys camp, all right, there is still a lot of gray area as to what is going to happen between the Dallas Cowboys and wide receiver George Pickens. Folks, there's a lot of stories coming out. Steven said earlier this week that the Dallas Cowboys would be using the franchise tag on GP if they couldn't agree to a contract here over the next few days. I don't think they'll be able to get a contract done, and I do believe that the franchise tag will be placed by the deadline so that Dallas can have a certain guarantee with George Pickens while they try to figure out the contract. Okay. My honest opinion is that this is going to get ugly. It's not going to get better unless Dallas agrees to make George Pickens the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. I know that a lot of us are extremely passionate about Dallas giving George Pickens the contract that he wants and that he deserves. All right. Me, I love GP. I love everything George Pickens has to offer for the Dallas Cowboys. I know that between him and CeeDee Lamb, they make the number one wide receiver duo in the NFL. But I also caution that if you give George Pickens the biggest contract in wide receiver history, you are going to be in position where you don't necessarily have that financial ability to sign other players at other positions that you need to address right now. What kind of contract would I give George Pickens if I'm Dallas? I'm matching what CeeDee Lamb is currently making, if not giving him $1 million or two more per year for a 3-year guaranteed deal, and saying, "Hey, GP, we want you with the Cowboys. This is what it is." Okay. If Dallas can't make that happen, I think that they need to seriously consider trading him before the draft. Why before the draft? Because prior to the draft is where you're going to get a max return on a player of George Pickens' caliber. All right. That is where I stand on GP. I want him to be a Dallas Cowboys, but I also want Dallas to be wise in the contract that they sign him to and that they offer him. Okay. In other contract news, with the Dallas Cowboys, major story came out over the last 48 hours that Dallas made an offer to kicker Brandon Aubrey and that they turned it down. They made a request because they wanted more money. All right. Now, Calvin Watkins, a respected journalist, went live earlier and said that he made a mistake, that Dallas did not offer $7.5 million per year to Brandon Aubrey, but they offered a little bit more than 6.8, right? $6.7 million per year, which still would make Brandon Aubrey the highest paid kicker in NFL history. What we do know is that Aubrey's camp is seeking more than that, and that Dallas may be considering placing that second round tender on Brandon Aubrey. In my opinion, Dallas needs to hold firm, right, on the 6, 7, 6, 8 million per year and place that second round tender on Brandon Aubrey. If somebody else wants to sign him to more money than that, kudos to you. We get your second round pick. Okay. Now, it's not that I'm not a Brandon Aubrey fan, but I do think that if you're able to get back a second round pick for Brandon Aubrey, I think that you won. All right. Every NFL team needs a Brandon Aubrey. Once you get to that 50, you're in range, right? But that is a contract that Dallas needs to be wise, right? They need to say, this is where we draw the line. This is what it is. Um, if not, we'll take another team second. Period. Javonte Williams signed an extension with the Dallas Cowboys, or signed a deal with the Dallas Cowboys, which will keep him in Dallas for at least the next 2 years. It is a 3-year deal worth up to $24 million. Okay, solid signing for both sides. Okay, Javonte Williams gets some stability. Dallas gets a stable a running back that is a bell cow, giving him the ball on every single down. But also, Javonte Williams showed that he is willing to give himself up in pass protection. Shout out to Dallas and shout out to Javonte Williams for making that happen. Okay, folks. Combine news. It looks like Dallas is interviewing every possible defensive prospect that there is. Okay, Monsieur Delane went live earlier and said that he held a meeting with Dallas. All right, the safety from Toledo said that he had a meeting with Dallas. Tons and tons of defensive meetings for Dallas so far at the combine. Listen, that is what they need to be doing. They need to look to address the defensive side. But I also throw this out there. Don't be shocked if the Dallas Cowboys take an offensive tackle at pick number 12. Don't be shocked, folks. Don't be shocked if somehow Miami offensive tackle Francis Mauigoa is sitting there at 12, and that is who they select. My opinion, that would be a good move. Why? Because Francis Mauigoa is going to be a 10-year NFL starting right tackle. He will solve a lot of the issues that Dallas has up front right now. All right, listen, it's going to be an exciting week. There's going to be some trades. I'm interested in seeing what Dallas does over the next week. Stay tuned, folks. Have a great weekend. Peace.